Imagine a country seized by the clutches of notorious criminal networks, spiraling into a state of chaos and violence. What would that look like? Welcome to Ecuador, 2024. In the heart of South America, a storm brews fueled by the rise of criminal networks, the most notorious among them being Los Coneros. Led by the elusive Adolfo Macias, better known as Fito, this criminal organization has escalated tensions, turning the nation into a hotbed of violence and fear. Allegedly in cahoots with Mexico's Sinaloa cartel, Los Coneros have their tendrils deep in the fabric of Ecuador's society, leaving a trail of violence and death in their wake. Ecuador's strategic position makes it a key player in the drug trafficking routes to Europe and Africa, a fact not lost on these criminal networks. This has resulted in the country becoming a battleground for control of these lucrative smuggling routes, leading to an increase in violence and instability. Fito, the fugitive drug lord at the helm of Los Coneros, has managed to evade capture and remains a significant threat. His daring escape from a prison in Guayaquil earlier this week has only served to embolden the criminal elements within the country, leading to an intensification of their activities. Behind this man and his gang, there's a history that's as dark as it is deep. In December of 2020, Fito assumed leadership of Los Coneros, establishing himself as the primary liaison for the Mexican cartel, which has maintained a presence in Ecuador since 2003. The group gained notoriety for the assassination of Fernando Villavicencio, a presidential candidate days before the election in 2023. Villavicencio had publicly identified Fito as a key operative for the Sinaloa cartel in Ecuador. However, Los Coneros are not the only threat Ecuador faces. Another faction, Los Lobos, affiliated with Mexico's Jalisco New Generation cartel, also contributes to the violence and criminal activities, which include the annual distribution of over 700 tons of cocaine to the United States and Brazil. With the rise of these criminal networks, Ecuador has found itself in a state of internal armed conflict. The country's peace and stability hang in the balance. The stakes rose when Fito, the notorious drug lord, escaped from prison. This event triggered a wave of violence and chaos across the country. In the wake of his daring breakout, criminal activity surged across Ecuador, leaving the nation in turmoil. The criminal networks, emboldened by their leader's audacious escape, have intensified their operations, resorting to acts of violence that have sent shockwaves through the country. In a brazen display of audacity, these lawless elements seized control of a television channel, broadcasting their threats and showcasing their firepower live on air. This shocking incident served as a stark reminder of the escalating threats posed by these criminal networks. But swift action by the authorities led to the arrest of 13 individuals connected to this audacious act. As the violence spiraled, the government responded decisively. A force of 3,000 soldiers was deployed across the nation. Tasked with restoring order, these brave men and women are on the front lines, facing down armed gangs wielding both long and short-range weapons. Their mission is clear: to quell the violence, stop the looting, and restore peace to the streets of Ecuador. The president, Daniel Novoa, has described the situation as an internal armed conflict, highlighting the severity of the crisis. Faced with escalating threats and mounting violence, his administration has taken a firm stance against these criminal elements. In the aftermath of a high-level Security Council meeting, military officials have declared their unwavering commitment to confronting these threats head-on. They have made it clear: there will be no negotiation with those who sow terror among the populace. The Ecuadorian government, faced with an escalating crisis, has declared it will not negotiate with these elements of terror. In the face of such adversity, the Ecuadorian government remains steadfast in its commitment to combating organized crime. Over the years, authorities have made significant strides in dismantling these menacing drug trafficking networks. Notable arrests include former Manabí Governor Cesar Fernandez in 2003 and Wilder Emilio Sanchez Farfan in 2012, both linked to drug trafficking. Moreover, a substantial operation in 2023 disrupted a network comprising the Sinaloa cartel, Los Coneros, and other criminal groups, effectively halting the flow of significant quantities of cocaine to the United States and Europe. But the fight is not just on the ground. The government is also leveraging the power of information. Recently, rewards were announced for any leads that would result in the capture of the notorious gang leaders, Fito of Los Coneros and Capitan Perico of Los Lobos. This is a clear demonstration of Ecuador's determination to stand against organized crime and restore peace and stability to the nation. As the battle against these criminal networks continues, the future of Ecuador hangs in the balance. The country's fight for peace and stability is far from over.